Once upon a time, in a small village nestled among rolling hills, there lived a wise old man named Akira, known for his gentle demeanor and profound wisdom. Akira was respected by all who knew him. Despite his advanced age, he possessed a remarkable ability to solve even the most complex problems with ease. One day, a young and ambitious merchant named Hiroshi arrived in the village. Hiroshi was known for his quick wit and silver tongue, always ready with a clever retort or persuasive argument. He had heard tales of Akira's wisdom and sought to challenge the old man's reputation. Hiroshi approached Akira's modest home, where the old sage sat peacefully in his garden, tending to his flowers. With a smirk, Hiroshi declared, "Old man, I've come to test your wisdom. They say you can solve any problem, but I doubt you can outsmart me." Akira looked up from his flowers, his eyes twinkling with amusement. He simply nodded and gestured for Hiroshi to continue. Emboldened by Akira's silence, Hiroshi launched into a barrage of questions and riddles, each more complex than the last. He spoke of trade disputes, philosophical paradoxes, and moral dilemmas, his words flowing like a rushing river. To Hiroshi's surprise and growing frustration, Akira remained silent throughout his tirade. The old man's face remained serene, betraying no hint of confusion or distress. As Hiroshi's words began to falter, Akira's silence seemed to grow more powerful, filling the garden with an almost tangible presence. Finally, exhausted and perplexed, Hiroshi fell silent. The garden was quiet, save for the gentle rustling of leaves in the breeze. Akira slowly rose from his seat and approached the young merchant. In a soft voice that carried the weight of years, Akira spoke, "Young man, you have asked many questions, but have you listened to the answers that silence provides?" Hiroshi, taken aback, stammered, But you didn't say anything." Akira smiled gently. "In your haste to prove your cleverness, you failed to notice the wisdom that surrounds us. The flowers, the trees, the very air we breathe, they all speak volumes if we learn to listen." As the old man's words sank in, Hiroshi felt a wave of humility wash over him. He realized that in his eagerness to showcase his knowledge, he had missed the profound lessons that silence could teach. Akira continued, "True wisdom, my young friend, often lies not in what we say, but in what we choose not to say. Silence allows us to observe, to reflect, and to understand the world around us more deeply." Hiroshi bowed his head in respect. "I see now that I have much to learn, wise one. Can you teach me the power of silence?" Akira's eyes crinkled with warmth. The journey to understanding silence begins with listening, not just with your ears, but with your heart and mind. Stay with me for a while, and I will show you. Over the next few weeks, Hiroshi learned to appreciate the subtle language of silence. He discovered that in quiet moments, solutions to complex problems often revealed themselves. He found that by listening more and speaking less, he gained deeper insights into the hearts and minds of others. As the days passed, Hiroshi's demeanor changed. The once brash and talkative merchant became known for his thoughtful pauses and carefully chosen words. People in the village began to seek his counsel, drawn to the quiet strength he now exuded. One evening, as Hiroshi and Akira sat in the garden watching the sunset, the young man turned to his mentor. "I understand now why you remained silent that day when I first arrived. You were teaching me the most important lesson of all." Akira nodded, a proud smile on his face. "And what lesson is that, my friend?" Hiroshi replied, "That true power lies not in how much we say, but in how well we listen and observe. Silence is not the absence of something, but the presence of everything." The old sage's eyes twinkled with approval. "You have learned well, Hiroshi. Remember, in a world full of noise, those who master the art of silence often hold the greatest influence." As the last rays of sunlight painted the sky in brilliant hues, Hiroshi felt a profound sense of peace. He had come seeking to challenge wisdom, and instead found a transformative truth that would guide him for the rest of his life. From that day forward, Hiroshi carried the lesson of silence with him wherever he went. He became known not just as a successful merchant, but as a wise and compassionate leader. People would travel from far and wide to seek his counsel, drawn by the quiet strength and deep understanding that emanated from him. Years later, when Hiroshi had grown old himself, he often reflected on that fateful day in Akira's garden. He realized that the power of silence had not only changed his life, but had allowed him to positively impact countless others. By learning to listen more than he spoke, he had gained insights that no amount of clever words could have provided. As he sat in his own garden, now a respected elder himself, Hiroshi would sometimes smile at the memory of his younger, more impetuous self. He would watch as young, eager faces approached him, much as he had once approached Akira, full of questions and seeking wisdom. And just as Akira had done for him, Hiroshi would greet them with a serene smile and a moment of silence, allowing the timeless lesson to unfold once more. For he knew that in that silence, the greatest truths could be heard, if only one had the patience and wisdom to listen. The story of Hiroshi and Akira spread far beyond their small village, becoming a beloved tale passed down through generations. It served as a reminder that in a world often dominated by noise and constant chatter, the ability to embrace silence could be a source of immense strength and understanding. Parents would tell their children this story, encouraging them to find moments of quiet reflection in their daily lives. Teachers would share it with their students, emphasizing the importance of listening and observing before rushing to speak or act. And so, the power of silence, once discovered in a humble garden, continued to touch lives and shape destinies, a testament to the enduring wisdom of an old sage and the transformative journey of a once brash young merchant. In the end, the story of Hiroshi and Akira reminds us all that true strength often lies not in the words we speak, but in the silence we cultivate, a silence that allows us to hear the whispers of wisdom that surround us always, if only we have the courage and patience to listen. So if you wish to watch more videos like this, subscribe, where one subscription is equals to endless tales.